Hello everyone, this is the Final Bosman, and on today's episode, I'm talking about Bloodborne. Welcome to the show. I am Kyle Bosman, and you all know me by now. You know that I am the perpetual noob, scrub forever. You know that probably I've never played a Souls game in my life. I've observed a lot of Souls games, but I've never played it. I was one of them. I'm so like, no, no, thank you, sir, not for me. However, I've played Bloodborne, and at this point, I've beaten Bloodborne. I don't like to say beaten. I don't like to say I've beaten a game. No, I beat it. I've finished Bloodborne, we'll say, and that was unusual for me. And what's funny is a lot of the things that I'm playing and enjoying about Bloodborne are old news to Souls fans. Yeah, sure, I'm sorry that you were right this whole time. You were all right this whole time. Anyway, today's list, 3 things that this cowardly scrub loves about Bloodborne. Number 1, no maps. Can you imagine a video game today with no maps? That's insane, and this one has no maps. Basically, one of the things I like least, one of the things that really just ticks me off, is in a video game where it'll say, objective, do this thing. And on the screen, just very blatantly, this is what you need to be doing right now. That's so frustrating. Do you know who that's for? It's for one person. That person who's playing and says, wait, what am I supposed to be doing? Like, he's just a little angry about it too. Tell me, what am I supposed to be doing? Oh, defuse the bomb. Okay. Like, if you need to say what your objective is, I think that's a failure of writing. Or maybe game design. But the thing is, even if the writing is crystal clear, even if the last line was, you need to take this bomb and defuse it over there, someone would say, wait, what am I supposed to be doing? There's always that, you can't cater to that person. That person watches movies. Wait, which one is Chappie? Like, he's there. He's always there. You cannot take up screen space because of that one person. He can't ruin video games for all of us. No map is so interesting to me. What that does with no objective markers, I think I spend a lot of time in video games looking at the map and actually moving on the map. Just eyes down there. When there's an objective, you just move closer to it. Oh, I'm 25 meters away now. When you take those things away, you are observing your environment. You're in this world. You are paying attention to everything, and it's a world worth paying attention to. That's something, gosh, I love about that. Number 2, you are always vulnerable. Enemies are always vulnerable. Weird holdover from video games from the 80s even, is when a character gets hit, you blink for a second, and then you're good. You're good to get hit again, but while you're blinking, you're invincible. Think of Sonic. Sonic gets hit, the rings pop out, and you're blinking for a sec. You're invincible, don't worry, and then, okay, you can get hurt again. That's ridiculous. Where does that power come from? Oh, I got hit. Now you can't hurt me. Now you can hurt me again. That makes no sense. But it's just like, well, we just thought it'd be a little more fair. You know, if you got hit twice in a row, you would die. Yeah, you would. That is fair. In Bloodborne, yeah, when you get hit twice in a row, you die. There it is. There's no just like, that's it, man. You're dead so quickly. And yeah, there are a lot of games where you die immediately. However, I was still shocked to see how quickly my life meter would get depleted within Bloodborne. I loved it because my enemies play by the same rules. That's one thing I love about Bloodborne. The 4 enemies I don't like to see in video games are not here in this game. You hit it and then you can keep hitting it. Even bosses, they will get hurt by your weapons. That's incredible. That's a cool thing to me. It makes both characters more real. When you're fighting an enemy, it feels like you are engaging with an enemy. If you're both playing by the same rules, like a boss, I feel like I'm dueling against a boss. You know, I think like, forgive this tangent. I think like secretly, there's like a Rick Rubin of the video game world. He's got a long gray beard. And I think he goes into development studios and he's looking at their boss fights and he says, I think you have to add some enemies into this boss fight. And they're like, no, I think that's not fun. I think that you shouldn't just drop enemies into this boss fight. And he says, no, do it to all the boss fights. It's very fun for a video game boss. And here in Bloodborne, when I'm fighting a boss, when I'm fighting a hunter, when I'm fighting a random, just dumb little enemy, I feel like I'm engaging with that enemy. That I feel like it's not like a boss fight. I feel like we're fighting. It's a duel. There's one boss fight where it's like, I think you should drop some spiders from the sky here. And they're like, okay, here it is. Yeah, he just goes to every studio. Video game Rick Rubin, I don't know where you are, but I'm gonna find you. We're gonna fight about this. Number 3, exploration isn't just rewarded, it's how you play the game. So, I was recently playing Duke Nukem 3D, because it was a free PSN game, and I was like, oh, why not give it a shot? I think we remember this game strictly for being, ooh, give me a lap dance. Like, I think that's the lasting impression of that game's legacy, and it is that. It still has that, and it's still super dumb. What is cool about Duke Nukem 3D, though, is that you cannot finish a level without finding secrets. Finding secrets is how you play that game. You shoot all the big dumb pig monsters and you get through it that way, but then it comes to a point where it's like, wait, Duke, what am I supposed to be doing? It's like, go shoot that poster, flip that switch, explore this environment. Bloodborne, yes, the same. In a lot of video games, your path is clear. You know you're supposed to go that way, and so if you see this path, you're like, oh, if I go on that path, maybe I'll find something. And then you do. And then the chemicals and sparks in your brain say, wow, I'm very clever for finding this thing down here. Bloodborne does that. You'll go down this path and it's like, oh, bullets, cool, thank you. And then sometimes you'll go down that path and it's scary, it's huge. You're in a whole new place and there's new enemies you don't want to see. And the ground is poison, you're just like, I want to go back. There are times in Bloodborne, let's say you're riding elevators the whole game. You're way used to riding elevators. And then you get this one shot. You see it, you finally see your opportunity. Oh, there's a window. I bet I could jump off this elevator, go through that window. And then you pull it off. And then you land on the roof and you're like, yes, I'm in a secret area. And then Bloodborne's like, no, you're supposed to go that way. That is the least I expected of you. You're like, okay, well, here I go. You died. That's the list. What's really funny, it's funny about writing that list. I did an episode not too long ago about why I like The Order. I was like, hey, you could pick up a boat and look at it. It's a good game. What's funny is writing this episode, I realized why that game is so reviled. It's like, The Order is not a video game in comparison to Bloodborne. I still like both. You can like both. You gotta have a completely balanced breakfast. You gotta have a bowl of cereal, but you need some toast on the side. And then you need your cereal. The toast is The Order in this instance. Before we go, I do want to do a funny follow-up to a previous episode. Last episode of The Final Bosman. It wasn't quite myself, but I was saying about CG trailers at E3. One in particular, Phantom Dust, seemed a little dishonest because eventually that game was canceled by Microsoft. We didn't even know. At that time, we did not even know how dishonest that trailer was. Last Friday, Kotaku, Jason Schreier, published a very interesting article named How a Small Studio's Chance at the Big Time Died at Microsoft's Doorstep. Little inflammatory straight off the title, but it is what it is. Basically, this article talks about Darkside Studios, who, honestly, I hadn't heard of before, who was working on this game, Phantom Dust. Basically, the gist of it, the TLDR, please read the article, it's very interesting. The agreed upon budget for the game was $5 million, and it was going to be multiplayer only. Microsoft says, hey, can you add a single player campaign into that? And Darkside says, oh, yes, we can. And then months later, they realize, no, they can't. And they say, can we have more money, please? Microsoft says, no, you're all fired. That's the roundabout way of doing it. To me, yeah, we could discuss that. I don't know. I think that Microsoft can completely 100% do that. If they're paying for a game that they don't like, they can say, no thanks, no more money. That's their right. The interesting part, to me, the most interesting thing, probably because I love E3 so much, is this one part. Darkside was in the very early stages of development when E3 came in June of last year. And some at the studio say they were shocked to see Microsoft announce Phantom Dust there. They were even more shocked to see the game announced through a pre-rendered trailer that nobody at Darkside had worked on, according to studio sources. Perhaps more frustratingly for some at the studio, Microsoft wouldn't tell anyone that Darkside was developing the game. Darkside was put on a gag order Though the game had been announced, they still couldn't tell people they were making it. It's almost as if last year at E3, delivering the announcement of a game was more important to Microsoft than delivering a game. It's almost like that. Crackdown, same, we still don't know who's developing Crackdown. Not important, you don't need to know. You'll only be disappointed if you hear who's developing it. That's what that is. That's crazy to me. The reason why we can laugh about this whole thing is when Darkside Studios was shut down and finally revealed to be the developer of Phantom Dust. This was Microsoft's official response. Microsoft partnered with Darkside Game Studios in the development of Phantom Dust, but our working relationship has now ended. We have great respect for their studio and their work in the industry. While we do not have anything new to share on Phantom Dust at this time, we can confirm that development of the title continues. We look forward to sharing more details on the game as we get closer to release. Oh boy. Like that is not dishonest. I'm sure development of the title is continuing, but that game there was a CG trailer for last year that a team was working on. That game was canceled. That's a canceled game. So to pretend it's still in development, no. That studio who's working on it shut down. No, it's still in development. Please still be excited for Xbox One. That's insane. When E3 comes around this year and there's a CG trailer for Battletoads, will I still get excited? Yes, because I'm a monster. And I love this stuff. Here, you little tools. You want to eat from our hands? Yep. Nom, 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 nom. This tastes so good. Video game announcements. Thank you. Nom, nom, nom. I'm going to talk about this on my show. Nom, 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 nom. I'm part of the machine. I'm just a cog. I see this now. I'm just playing all their games. Like when I'm Kyle Bosman and I'm excited for The Last Guardian, I still like, oh, it's coming, everybody. I'm just a little advertising machine, aren't I? Oh boy. Well, that's the show for this week. It always ends with Kyle going a little crazy. That's the mental state I'm in. If you're on Twitter, you can find me at Kyle Bosman. I'll be back here next Wednesday. Hope to see you then. Thanks for watching. Hello everyone, my name is Kyle Bosman, and today I will be performing the 4 enemies I don't like to see in video games. I see it's 3/4 of the way through this video game, so I'm gonna show up. I'm the guy who's got invincible armor. None of your bullets can hurt me. I guess the rest of us should have this invincible armor, but only I got it. Oh no! Please don't touch my precious backside! Okay, I've got perfect cover right now. Because I'm hiding behind this pillar, you can't shoot me. You have to come to me right now. I'm good. I wonder how you're doing though. Hey, how are you doing? Oh, you got me good. Oh God. No, don't hurt me. You can't hurt me yet. Oh. Ooh. No, I'm invincible. You can't. Don't bother. Oh. Oh. Oh no. Your sword's gonna go right through me. Don't bother. Okay. Just a sec. Okay, you can hurt me again. Hi there. I'm a boss and you can't hurt me. All of my attacks will hurt you. I'm in a situation where I can't possibly lose. But guess it's time for me to use my super laser. Uh-oh, I gotta recharge now. Hold on a sec. Oh, that's my weak point. You can go ahead and hit that. It's alright. Guess it's my hubris, really. That's my weakness. So really, I'm beating me. You're not beating me, I'm beating me. Okay, let's go again.